This time on Bulletproof Tactical, we're going to review my everyday carry knife. This is my Victorinox Swiss Champ XXL. It has 73 functions, and a lot of people have been requesting me to give them an update on it. Continue watching. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's review. My Swiss Army knife. A lot of people want to know what type of knife this is. They've seen it on several short videos, and I keep getting the same comment. Please update us on your everyday carry knife. So I bought this when I was 28 years old. I'm 31 now, so I've been carrying this for 3 years. And I do carry it every day. A lot of people might think it's overkill, but I carry it every day, and believe me, a lot of these functions that I thought were unnecessary have actually proved to be very useful in certain situations. So let's go through it. Victorinox does claim that this knife has 73 functions. I did remove two functions, okay, because these scales actually don't come with a pen. The original scales have a pen slot. This one doesn't have a pen slot, and it doesn't have the pin either. So I removed two functions, okay? So technically this one would have 71 functions, but I added a little lighter, which I guess that's another function, so that's 72. And if you want to call it another function, well, the scales glow in the dark. And I'll show you guys a video on how bright they are at nighttime. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the bottle opener. Sorry, this is the can opener with the flathead screwdriver. We have the bottle opener with a flathead screwdriver and the wire stripper. We have the universal tool here, which has several different sizes. I've used it a couple times, believe it or not. Not too handy unless you're working on motorcycles or something like that, smaller screws or whatever. And then you have your Phillips head screwdriver. You have your pliers, which I know seem tiny, but I use these many times, especially if it's the only pliers you have. Believe me, they become really handy. Okay. And then we have this screwdriver right here, which has different bits. I've even used these to work on my vehicles quite often. Has several different bits. So every bit counts as a function, okay? So that's why it ends up being 73, okay, functions. Every bit is a function, okay? So this is 2 right here. This would be 4. And you get the point. So just thought I'd be clear about that. And we actually have 2 of those. The reason we have 2 is because we have different type of bids. So it might seem overkill, but we do need to have this to store more bits. So the fact that we have 2, yeah, it might seem a bit overkill, but it's actually pretty useful. Then on this side we have the this is for fishing. It has a ruler, it has inches, and it has centimeters on this side. So pretty cool. And this is to remove the scales from your fish and to remove the hook from the fish. Okay, so that's a couple functions right there. You have a ruler, and yeah, that's like three or four functions in one. And then we have our magnifying glass, which is really good. I think this is 5 times zoom. And then we have our flashlight, which the batteries are out. Haven't been able to get replacements for it. But very functional, especially when you're using these at night. because you can actually turn on the light and you're able to see where you're screwing. So really functional little flashlight, and it's brighter than it seems. It looks tiny, but it's actually really bright at night. Then we have our blade here with serrations. This is really sharp, good for like cutting seat belts or rubber. Really sharp knife. Then we got our little drill here. Okay, and then we have a wood saw. Haven't really used this one yet, not that I remember. I've used everything here except this wood saw. Okay, and then we have our scissors. Of course, a really functional tool to have is your scissors. All right, and then we have this little blade right here, which I think is a little overkill. I haven't used this one much, but then again, it's there if you need it. And you have another type of blade right here. Okay, so it might be a little overkill, but they're there. Never hurts to have more than one knife. This is, I think they call it a medical spatula, which I thought was the dumbest function ever when I bought the knife. But I'll be honest, it's one of my favorite functions now. When I'm cooking outdoors, I use it to flip my tortillas and to stir my soup, so you don't want to burn yourself. So this actually came out pretty handy. I don't use it for any medical purposes, but really cool little spatula. And then once again, we have our additional screwdriver with additional bits right here. We got, of course, hex bits and little star and, Phillips. But of course, I use these two most often. And then from here, we have this is also one of those functions where it's a bit overkill. It's so you can replace batteries from watches. So you can pop the back cover of your watch. That's its main function. I've used it a couple times just to pry plastic pieces from vehicles open, so I can repair them. So it's a good prying tool because it's not sharp. You're not going to cut yourself with this, but it does have a very thin edge, so you can really stick it in there and pop things open. And then we have the old can opener, bottle opener / wire stripper. Okay, and then we have our metal saw / file. Really good. I wouldn't recommend doing anything with your fingernails. This file's too it's too aggressive, so I wouldn't use this for your fingernails. Then we have, of course, the legendary Victorinox blade, the main tool of the knife. And we have it, of course, on our right side, so you can still cut and sharpen it. Sharpening this is a bit difficult when you're sharpening the left side because you kind of have to be on an angle. Okay, you get the idea. It's not easy to sharpen when you have this much material in your way. And then we have our little blade. Okay. Then we have our corkscrew with a tiny, it's really in there. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's our little screwdriver. Okay. It's for like glasses, adjusting the little screw on your glasses and your watch, maybe. I don't have a watch on right now, but okay. That's one function plus the corkscrew, so that's two functions in one. And then we have this little, I always forget the name of this tool, but this is really handy when you're carving out wood. Really sharp. It's a chisel. That's what it's called, a chisel. And then we have overkill once again, flathead screwdriver, followed by another flathead screwdriver, followed by a hook. I like the hooks very much, but in this knife we get two hooks, which is a bit overkill, but one difference is one hook has a file, the other one doesn't. This is the one you would use for your fingernails. So these hooks are awesome. They discontinued them, but this one still comes with one. And then of course you have your little hand drill and a needle for like sewing leather and stuff. And then of course you have your toothpick. Okay. You have your tweezers. Okay. Once again, this one doesn't have the pen on the scales, but these do glow in the dark. These are factory Victorinox scales. And then I added this little lighter. A lot of people ask me about this little lighter. It was $1. And I'll be honest, I don't want to sound like I'm selling these, but it's the best dollar I've ever spent, because I haven't refilled it in a while. There we go. You guys can see. Last time I refilled this little lighter was 2-3 months ago. And you guys can see it has a little seal right here. A little plastic seal. So whenever you tighten it up, all the gas is not going to evaporate. It uses the same Zippo lighter fluid. So, but the difference is the Zippo, you store it away, and you guys might know this, a week later, it doesn't have any more lighter fluid. You got to refill it. This little guy, I refilled it 2-3 months ago. It hasn't evaporated. So for $1, honestly, like, I just think it's a must. It's tiny. Look at the thing. I mean, compare it to your thumb. I mean, I have small fingers, but it's nothing. Like, I mean, it's already a big knife. Carrying this little lighter just adds more utility to it. So overall, carrying this knife for 3 years, I gotta say, I don't see myself carrying anything smaller, honestly. Why? Because if this is the only tool you're carrying, you want to carry as much with you as possible. So this is just basically like a little toolbox. I think you guys are gonna like having one of these knives, and it's smaller than your cell phone, honestly. So if you can just carry this in one pocket, your cell phone on your other, or in my case, I just put it on my jacket right here, and I mean, it's awesome. Okay, so leave me a comment, guys. I want to know what you guys think about it. Would you carry something this big? Let me know what you think about the little lighter. I am going to do another video comparing it to a Zippo, because this one's also 100% waterproof. You can dive this in water and it's not going to get in, because it has that little rubber seal. And leave me a comment, guys. What do you think about my knife? And subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment, leave me a like, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.